Hello, this is Tammy Galvin, and this is my final reflection presentation regarding this course. First, I'd like to say that I enjoyed this course. I actually learned a lot. In the beginning, I was somewhat frustrated. It seemed like a lot of reading, and it was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. But overall, it played itself out, and I actually did learn a lot from this course. First, I want to talk about what I really um, was interested in, fascinated me was the budget for Riverside County, um, how they um, submitted a budget, a pre-budget, and the next thing you know, they were asking for more money. Um, but so overall, it was just the budget for Riverside County in itself versus other counties. There were some counties that were a lot less. Um, that was intriguing that I had seen from other student slideshows, that they lived in smaller towns and the budget wasn't large. Also, the jobs that they really didn't have many jobs in other student slideshows and presentation versus what Riverside County had in the pay. So that week, I did learn a lot from the budget and what um, each student's where they lived, their jurisdiction had to offer. So that was interesting for me. Next was for the ethics in the workplace, how important it is, and everything that comes with it. So what I learned was how important ethics is in the workplace and how so many workplaces are being affected by ethics. Um, and once again, as far as the ethics and the standards are, um, I actually learned a lot. Like I said, that was also an interest to me. The leadership, the responsibility, the core values, and so I actually learned a lot from that. Um, what was this all about? I never knew what e-government was. I'm not one to be on the computer and social media and the internet all throughout the day and all that stuff. I mean, I do know that, it's a good tool to have in the workplaces and to get information now with the cell phones and all that, public information, e-government. It was always there. I just never really knew that it had a term. So, what was it all about? The e-government is something that I did learn. So that was also something that interested me. Um, what else also interests me was when we talked about the smartphones, um, and all like the GPS and stuff like that um, that now was out there, where the smartphone started and actually how much somebody has paid for the first smartphone, which was something outrageous, like the high 3,000s, almost $4,000 for the first smartphone to come out. So that was something that I never even knew about, or that in fact somebody had paid that large amount for the smartphone. Also, where technology has went from that time when it first came out to where we are now with so much more. So that was also very interesting and something that I learned. Also, when we had to talk about what we followed under as far as the type of person we were in the workplace, and mine was the servant leader, um, that I still feel, this way at work, and I keep it in the back of my mind always that um, the servant leader, that you share the power and put the needs of others first, but still be able to maintain your job and give the respect and maintain the ethics. So I enjoyed that, um, getting all the information and actually it being in front of me and really knowing the definition of a servant leader. So that was also something that interested me. As far as our final papers were and the topics that we picked, I work for the Riverside County Sheriff, and this is actually a hot topic and probably will be until the next election comes along and we either receive or we keep the current sheriff. So, I mean, I knew what was going on from, the paper and from word of mouth, but to actually look into it a little bit more and get more information on how the election and the financial problems that the department is facing and the reasons behind it, and digging into it a little bit more on how the actual employees feel, um, and the people that aren't really saying much um, until the election is over. So um, once again, I knew that there was some issues with the election and the city council having issues, and the social media was just tearing the current sheriff Sniff apart, and they have this right on daily blog, and it's just it's so political. So I didn't really realize the severity of it until I started researching it, and so that's something that I did learn, and will continue to be a hot topic and something, um, especially for me to get more information and what I've learned since I am an employee for the Riverside Sheriff Department. So um, that was good. That was interesting, and I'm glad that I picked that topic. Finally, the strive not to be a success, but rather be a value. Um, in this course, that was something that I think overall that I learned, that I could put it all together and sum it up. That's what I put that I that I'm that I've learned, was that um, be a value. There's so much that comes with um, working in the workplace, and everything that comes with it, and dealing with people. So um, that's if I could sum up this course. So um, last but not forgotten, something that also interested me in this course was the fact that we did have to do the slideshow, the presentations, which was new to me. Um, as much as I love to talk socially and at work and my coworkers, it was kind of tough to actually record myself and kind of feel the anxiety. But overall, when I heard other students' presentations, it was fascinating. Especially there were some students that had a little difficulty with their with their slideshows. It was Some of them were kind of hard to understand, but they made their point across, and their dedication was amazing. And I actually looked forward to reading other people's and listening to their presentations, and I was giving them props just for doing it, and I was over here, all nervous about, was it going to be too long? Was it going to be too short? Did I talk too fast? Did I talk too low? But overall, everybody did a great job, and I enjoyed reading everybody's and listening to people's presentations, and got acquainted with other students. So that was something that was great in this course too, and something that I learned was about other people, their districts and counties and states and cities that they lived in, and everything that came with it. So that was great. That was it. Thank you very much, and we move on, and looking forward to the next 8 weeks, what it has to come, and I've learned a lot. Thank you.